In a couple of my previous videos where I tested the penetration capabilities of 6.5 Creedmoor on steel, I had several comments saying, oh, you should test this bullet or that bullet because they have superior penetration on steel. Well, in order to test just how big of a factor bullet construction plays in steel penetration with the 6.5 Creedmoor, I loaded up 14 different projectiles of different weights and different bullet constructions to see which one would penetrate the deepest. Every single one of these bullets here is going to be fired out of this 26-inch setup here so that we're getting just about the highest velocity possible. Speaking of velocity though, I'm going to be keeping this chronograph right here mounted on the end so that we know exactly how fast each shot is going. Still going to be using steel sled V2, but because we have so many different bullets to test out, instead of using 6x6 inch targets, we're going to be using 12x12 for 1/4 inch and 3/8 at least. That way it'll give me a lot more room to mess up. I have been known to stack a bullet a time or two, so fingers crossed this should give me plenty of room to mess up. Anyways, how's about we get the 1/4 inch set up in there? Oh yeah, look at that, nice and ready to go. So how's about we get this testing started? We had some absolutely insane point of impact shifts, but as you can see, all of the bullets went through a 1/4 inch steel plate, which we should have been expecting anyways. I think that's the Barnes one right there. It looks pretty cool because it's coated completely in copper. I guess that's to be expected though. I can't say that I'm shocked by that performance, but I'm glad to see that every single one of them went through a 1/4 inch at least. Now let's step it up a little, and I think this next plate's going to give some of the bullets a run for their money. You already know what it is. It's this 3/8 inch plate right here. Let's go ahead and set it in there. I think we're good to go. Speaking of crazy point of impact shifts, look at that right there. I think we need to redo that one again. Well, that last shot was pretty eventful. Now all we got to do is fish it back out so we could get those last two shots in there. Oh yeah, look at that. There we go. Okay, that one landed a little too close for comfort. Let's go ahead and try that again. Well, I tried. I am absolutely shocked. Guys, would you believe me if I told you that every single bullet, other than that solid copper one, went through this plate right here? That is freaking insane. Although the solid copper one does look the coolest. Well, I assumed, and you already know what assuming does, but anyways, I wasn't thinking that every single one of the bullets was going to go through this 3/8 inch plate besides the solid copper one. Luckily though, I have two 1/2 inch plates right here, so we should be able to catch every bullet. So how's about we set that first one in there? Good to go. Steel Sled V2 just can't replace Steel Sled V1. Now let's carry on. Looks like this won't be the last version of the Steel Sled either. Now you stay. Finally, thank you. I am really hoping that one of these next bullets goes through the half-inch plate so that I don't have to grind all these out, but let's go ahead and see. Good to go. Now that one had some serious power. It flipped that plate right out of there. And that ricochet was something like you wouldn't believe. Alright, I think I'm about done with this design right here. I don't even know what to say anymore. That is your last warning. Yes, finally! Well, unfortunately for me, there were no pass-throughs. So I think you know what that means. It's time to grind. Please no. With how many different bullets there are here, I don't think we have any time to mess around. Let's go ahead and get all these holes measured. That was a lot of holes to measure right there, and keep in mind that I measured each multiple times to make sure that we're getting the most accurate depths possible. Although I know it's probably not the most accurate system in the world, it should give us a pretty good idea. Anyways, how'd we do? I'm going to put all of the different depths up on the screen here, and we're going to be focusing on the top three. So number one was the 135 grain burger, which came in at 0.384 inches. Number 2 was the 129 grain interlock, which came in at 0.382 inches. And number 3 was the 140 grain fusion, which came in at 0.378 inches. So realistically, since these were all within 0.006 of each other, it's pretty much a three-way tie. But let's forget these lead-based bullets for just a second. The craziest thing that I found in this video is that the solid copper bullet could not even penetrate a 3/8 inch plate. I seriously thought that it had the best chance of going the deepest in these plates, but it was literally the only bullet that did not penetrate a 3/8 inch plate. Keep in mind that it was also one of the fastest bullets tested as well, which should have pushed it on through. Anyways, I really hope that you enjoyed today's video. Thanks so much for watching, and remember, don't let ballistics drive you bananas.